Hey, how's everyone doing today? Hey, it is Tuesday, September 6th. Hope you guys had a fabulous weekend. Hope you enjoyed that extra day off from work. We've got a great show lined up for you today. We have one of the new performers in the industry. Please welcome to the show, April Love. How you doing?
Hello, good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. So, tell me about April Love before she entered the industry.
Before I entered the industry, I mean, I was basically the same person. But I worked a regular job. My first job ever was in a grocery store, and I got fired like the day after because I was such a bad cashier. And then I worked in a dollar store, and then I worked in clothing stores, and then I graduated high school, of course, and
Hmm.
then I went off to college. I was pretty normal, I guess, like any normal civilian out there. But I ended up, kind of just getting into the industry just because I was camming and dancing at the time, and I thought that porn was going to be like the next level up.
Yeah. Yeah, that was going to be my next question. How did you get into the adult industry? So,
Well, how I got in was, it randomly just hit me one day, and I don't know why, because I don't watch porn. I honestly don't watch porn.
okay.
And before porn, I never watched it. Like, I didn't even know porn was really a thing anymore. Like, I mean, I knew there was like some porn on the internet, but I didn't think it was a big deal. Like my generation of people, we never really watched it, like bought DVDs or anything. So I thought it was just kind of fading away. But I guess I saw that there's still porn stars out there, and I kind of started looking into doing porn. So I'm originally from a small town in Canada. I moved away to college to Toronto, and um, I remember like literally sitting in my college class and like looking up porn agents because I was like, I don't want to do college. I think I just want to do porn. So but the thing with that was because I was in Canada, there wasn't any porn agents in Canada. So I quickly found out that, all of these agencies are in the States. So I had no idea how I was even going to start. So then a few months passed, and I had a guy on my Facebook who is from Montreal. He's another Canadian like myself.
Mhm.
And he messaged me, and he was working under a agent in Florida, and he was like, have you ever thought about doing porn? And I was like, well, ironically, yeah. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, I have. So then he gave me his agency's number. I looked it up with my friends at the time just to make sure it's like legit. And then I sent in my photos to him, and literally not even 30 seconds later, my phone was ringing, and he's like, so when can you get to Miami? I was like, anytime.
All right, all right. Yeah,
Yeah.
just so you'll know, the viewers will drop comments and then I'll post them so we all can see it.
Okay.
So, Dread Pirate, he just said they will fire you but allow you to do self checkout.
Yeah, I was a bad cashier. I mean, let's be fair, I was like 16 and it was my first job ever. Like, you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So now with the you've got a Twitter set up and you're in the process of setting up your IG
Yeah,
and
and
uh,
OnlyFans.
your
Yeah,
OF, yeah, your OF
yeah,
account.
yeah.
And how what's the expectation of time for that to be running?
It should be running by the end of this week. Especially my OnlyFans, actually maybe by the end of the day today. But it's a priority. But for now, you can follow me on Twitter, April Love _XO. I'll
Okay.
update you all
Now I
on
was looking
there.
at your there you go. Now I was looking you up on the I always say this wrong. IAFD. And basically that's kind of a Wikipedia for everyone in the industry. And I
Oh
found
yeah,
your stuff there, and yeah, and it's got that you have roughly about 11 scenes so far, roughly.
yeah.
Uh, Bang Bros, Team Skeets, Naughty America,
Mhm, mhm.
Mom Comes First. those are pretty. I like those. Those are pretty funny.
Yeah,
Team
yeah,
Skeet,
yeah.
Wank, and Bug Pass.
Thanks. Yeah,
So you guys
yeah,
got a lot of stuff to choose from there.
yeah, yeah.
And
I actually haven't
what's
shot
the,
in a.
oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, I haven't shot in about like 7 months, so it's been quite a while. Um, so there's still a lot of companies that, I want to work with. I mean, that's really like I've only really done 11 seeds, or I've done more, but I guess like the searchable ones, like the bigger ones. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And I believe you can go on there and you
Mhm.
can update the stuff because it's
Oh,
basically it's
really?
kind of like a profile for you. So you can go on there and
Oh,
you can
okay.
update if there's stuff that you want it because I was looking at it. It's got your height, it doesn't have your
Yeah.
measurements. It's got like this other. There's a lot of empty stuff that you can fill in there,
I didn't even know I had a wiki. I mean, that's interesting.
and it's just,
But
it's not so much a Wikipedia, but it's more. That's the only thing you can really compare it to. It's just a site
right,
for everyone in the adult
in the
industry.
industry, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I get it. Hmm.
yeah. So and it's got a lot of. It says you've got a. Where's that at? Yeah, a winged heart or bird above right buttocks tattoo.
It's so funny. Everyone asks me, "What's that tattoo?" It's actually two swans forming a heart. And my
Okay.
mom told me to get it. I mean, because I wanted a tattoo, like a small tattoo. I don't want anything like dramatic, but I just wanted to get it. I don't know why. And I asked her, I was like, what should I get? She's like, you should get two swans forming a heart. And that's what it is. But everyone's always like, what is that?
Yeah,
It was a free tattoo, so you get what you pay for.
it's all right. Hey, and now people who are tuning in, they'll
Mhm.
they'll they'll know exactly what the tattoo is now.
Yes, two swans forming a heart. I apologize. It's not the best tattoo ever. I got it for free.
All right, that's all right. How did you come up with your stage name? Was there like a certain story behind it, or?
Yeah, so at the time, I was given a name from an agent that I
Mhm,
started off with, and I hated the name because he gave me the same name that was like my best friend's name in real life, and
mhm.
like it felt odd going by her name in my porn world, you know what I mean? And I just didn't feel like it. I feel like if you're gonna pick a name, you have to feel like the person, like you have to feel like the name, you
Mhm.
know? And so I left that agency. I ended up working with another agency, and I told the agent, I said, look, I really don't like this name and I want to change it. Like, I want to come up with like a name that feels like a natural fit for me.
Right.
And so the agent and I, we were just on the phone, and we were just going through a bunch of names, and she was like on the internet making sure that no other porn star has that name, because there's like a billion porn stars out there and every name is taken. Like even now, like there's 5 other Aprils, right? And
Right.
so I came up with, I'm like, let's do April, because April is like bright and sweet and cute, you know what I mean? And then she was like, all right. So we looked up April. And then I said, let's do love, because I didn't want it to be like corny. I didn't want like a corny name. I
Right.
wanted it to just be like kind of like who I am, like just sweet and like fun, and you know what I mean? And so we went with April Love, and she looked it up and it wasn't it wasn't taken.
Okay.
So she's like, yeah, let's go with April Love. And so my agent and I basically we sat for like 2 hours and came up with it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Now, what has surprised you the most about the adult industry?
What's the price? Oh, everything. No, I'm just kidding. I think what surprised me the most about the industry is probably it's very professional when you get on set. Um,
Mhm.
Thank you. Sorry, I was just reading one of the comments.
That's fine.
Um, I when I first got into the industry, I had no idea how much paperwork it takes to be on set, and to all of the consent, all of like it's very very professional. So I
Yeah.
was so surprised, because like before porn, if you're not actually in the industry, you kind of have this image of like porn being shot in like an alley and nobody really is like tested or anything, but it's the total opposite. Like you have to have your ID, there's a lot of paperwork, about 10 minutes, 15 minutes of paperwork, and that shocked me. I was like, wow, this is really legit, and everyone is tested. Like you have to be tested, which is very important to
Yep.
me at least. So
Every,
those two things, like I had no idea you have to have a 2 weeks test, and I had
Mhm.
no idea how expensive it was.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's $190 for a test, but
Yeah.
it's worth it.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's reassurance that you're safe and your
Yeah.
your partner performer is safe as well. So
It's
definitely.
very, very important. Yeah, I hear stories about people who fake their tests, and that scares me. I don't even know how you can do that, but there's good and bad in the industry, of course.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah, yeah, and I don't know if it's the same person I'm not going to say his name.
right,
Maybe
right,
I can bring it up after the show, but
right,
the person's a good guy. He just made a mistake. He
right.
panicked maybe uh, for whatever and wanted to do the scene, and he just forgot. You know, just to
Right. But actually it's not the same person because this one is a female who faked it,
okay,
who faked her
okay,
test, which I was like, oh my God.
yeah,
But apparently you can fake your test because maybe you couldn't afford it. I don't know, but I mean you should never, ever, ever do that. I mean,
yeah,
ever.
exactly. Yeah, because
You should be blacklisted.
yeah, yeah, pretty much. Uh,
Yeah.
so is there any like fun stories you have, meeting your fans or anything like that?
Well,
Like,
I'm really new to the industry and I haven't really shot that much. And I have been invited to the conventions and like all of the events, but I haven't really made it out to any yet. I'm actually a very shy person. I get nervous very, very easily. So
yeah,
I haven't met any fans like face to face. So but I'm sure that when I do, it's going to be a really exciting experience because I know I have a lot of them, even like on my Twitter. They're so sweet, like the sweetest people I've ever interacted with in my life.
yeah,
And but I don't have any stories where I've met any. I'm sure that when I do go to a convention, I'll have plenty of them because I always have really cool stories. They
yeah,
always just follow me around. But no, not as of yet, I don't. But I would love to have like a stronger bond with them. You know what I mean? I don't know if other porn stars really care to have like a bond with their fan base, but I I try to respond to them as much as I can because I truly do appreciate them. And I've been so in and out and like on and off with the industry, and the fact that they're still around and they are tuning in on whatever I'm doing and they want to see more, it motivates me more than anything.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and they're the ones who basically make the industry what it is. Not only the industry itself, but the performer like yourself. Uh,
Yeah, no, you're nothing without them, that's for sure.
and with that said, you said that there were some companies that you wanted to shoot with.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
what are those companies? That way, your fans who are tuning into this hear this, and they can contact whatever the name of the company is and say, "Hey, I want April Love. Get her. I'll buy whatever next amount of scenes.
Right,
Get her
right.
on."
Um, there's a few. I I'm not into like the whole rough scene on set, you know what I mean? Like the whole getting rough. But
Right.
there is one company that I actually want to work with, and they're a little bit rougher, but they make it look good. You know what I mean? I think that's important, is that if you are gonna do a scene like that, make sure it looks good.
Yeah.
And it's called Hookup Hotspot. Hookup, am I saying it right? Hookup Hotspot.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. They're really big. I don't know if you've heard of them or not, but they're pretty big. And I love like just everything, the outfits and just the whole concept of that.
Mhm.
I would like to work with Evil Angel, any like Vixen. There's so many. I mean, I can't think of on top of my head because there's so many I haven't worked with.
How
Um,
about Kink?
Pardon?
Kink. How about Kink? Or are they kind of a little too rough?
I've never heard of them before. I
Okay.
don't
Yeah.
think I've heard of them.
Yeah.
But I would want to work with Evil Angel just because like it's one of those companies that's been around for like a long time. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And I love working with companies that have been around for a very long time because they just, they basically made the industry what it is. And I
Right.
am always excited working with like, new companies are cool, like Bang Bros, whatever. I mean, they're cool, you know what I mean? I've worked with them, but I think like even the old school ones are even cooler.
Right. Yeah. So, guys, if you're tuning into this
Mhm.
or tune into the afterplay, uh, check it out and get a hold of Evil Angel. Let them know that you want to see our guest today on the show or on their platform. So definitely do that. Um,
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd love to work with them.
and I'll even send her something out. Hey, get book her. Now, you mentioned you had done some feature dancing. Is that something in the future, your near future, you're looking to do?
I wasn't a feature dancer in Canada because I wasn't doing porn in Canada. I was just a dancer. So yeah, I mean, in the future, if I would feature dance. Yeah, I would. I obviously would now because of what I do for a living. I think I should. It would be smarter for me to feature dance than just a regular, stripper. I actually am gonna have that conversation with my agent in the future, and I would like to feature dance. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, because I mean that's how a lot of the people in industry,
Mhm.
they bring in some, buku cash, on the side,
Yeah,
their side hustle, along with what they're doing, with their scenes, they got their
right,
side hustle, which is the feature dancing all over the country,
right.
and they're doing very well at it. So yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
I hope
I
you
agree.
get that and you look into that some more.
Yeah, no,
So
and anytime I do come up with something or am doing something, I'm always gonna tell people on my Twitter. I'm gonna update it so that people, look out for it. Or, even like if I do end up going to a convention soon, I'd love to meet, my fans that have been around since my first film.
yeah,
I mean, I'd be just as excited as they are, trust me.
there you go. Now,
Yeah.
are you Exotica in I want to say Miami. I think it's
Yeah.
coming up
Yeah.
here in a month or two. So
Oh,
maybe,
really? Oh,
yeah,
I didn't know that. Yeah, no, I'll definitely attend that. Yeah. No, I didn't
definitely,
know that.
yeah, check that
Mhm.
out. Sure. I'll get the exact date and I'll send it to you.
Yeah, thank you. I'd appreciate it. Yeah, I should stop being so antisocial. I feel like I'm a little too antisocial. I just like kind of separate myself from everything in the industry, but it's usually just because I'm just shy and I just kind of
Yeah,
keep to myself. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But
I
it'd be
totally understand. Yeah, I'm the same way. In
yeah.
real life, I'm a real shy, introvert person.
Mhm.
You can't get two words out of me in public. Now I'm here flapping my gums.
Yeah, yapping away. Yeah.
In public, I would never be able to do this. I think
Right.
because it's the laptop and a mic, and my
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. No, actually, it's crazy. I see so many people in the industry that I meet, and they're like, "Yeah, no, I just stay at home." I'm just like, okay, we all have that in common, kind of. We just stay at home, sit in
mm.
our rooms. Yeah.
So, sexual wise, what gets you turned on, excited, that type of stuff?
Oh, it gets me turned on and excited. First of all, I think more than anything is like somebody who is like really nice and genuine and sweet. I mean,
Okay.
right off the bat, that does it for me. But I guess if we're talking like physically, I would say like I don't know, just a lot of touching, like touching on like my clit or like anything that just involves like touching. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Um, Also, like, if the other person's really excited, that just gets me super excited. So it's like a mutual kind of,
Right.
excitement, but definitely a lot of touching. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Good information there. If you could have sex with a superhero, which one would you choose and why?
Oh, a superhero. Oh, that's cool. Maybe Batman.
Okay. And
Just
why
because
is that?
he looks really mysterious. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. He's just like he seems evil, but he's not. Or is he? because I don't really watch it. I just know him as like
No,
Batman.
he's the good guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
Batman's the
he's
good
the
guy.
good guy. Yeah, but
Yeah.
he doesn't look like the good guy because he's dressed in all. He kind of looks kind of scary, in my opinion. But I'd probably, yeah, I'd fuck Batman. Batman, I would, yeah.
Okay. 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 Good answer. I like that. All right. Okay, now we're gonna go change it up a little bit, and we've got a new segment we've done here on the show. We did it for my 6-year anniversary show. We asked this question. It's a new segment called "My Dirty Little Secret." Does
Right.
April love have a dirty little secret that she'd like to spill today?
Yeah, I stole a bobby pin once at from a store. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I felt really bad because I don't like stealing. Like, I've never really stolen in my life before, but I really needed a bobby pin, and I feel really bad for doing that. I still feel really bad for stealing it. I just took one bobby pin out of the package.
Right. And what did you need it for, though? I mean,
I guess I needed it for my hair or something. Maybe I was having like a bad hair day. I don't really remember. This was like in high school, but I felt so bad after I did it. I thought the cops were like after me. And I've actually never really told anyone that until now. Yeah, I've stolen a bobby pin.
okay. All right. Well, no, thank you. I mean, like I said, it's a platform I wanted to set up where people can talk. Whatever, it could be something minor
Right.
in whatever, or it could be something major, sexual or whatever. But
Right.
I'm glad you were able to tell this because hopefully it'll help you. You know.
Heal, heal from my trauma.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it may sound minor to some people, but I'm like really against like stealing and touching anything that's not yours. So like, taking that and knowing that you're not supposed to do it, it just
Right.
made me feel bad. But I'm really happy I'm able to talk about it now.
Good. Good. Glad to hear that. What do you like to do in your free time, if you even have it? I mean, so some
No,
people.
I actually have a lot of free time right now because I haven't really been working. Um, I haven't shot a film in like 7 months by choice, but I don't really do much. I'm not that exciting of a person. Like, I will watch TV, I'll cook, and I'll read a book here and there. I like to watch a lot of documentaries. I love documentaries. I like to, I don't know, like back in Canada, there's a lot of nature. I loved going on hikes and just seeing, like, just being in nature was like a lot of fun for me. But I don't really party, I don't drink. So like I'm not like a crazy party person, or I
No.
usually go to bed around like 11 or like 12. It's like bedtime. Yeah, bedtime is like my favorite time of the day. So I'm not exciting. I'm really not.
Okay. Now, you'd like up here, actually, where I'm at in the area. I'm in Northern California, and
Yeah.
every morning out in my field, I see 2 or 3 deer out there,
No,
eating.
I actually haven't
Yeah.
seen any of that.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I haven't seen any of that. I don't know.
Okay.
I actually haven't seen any nature in California other than
Oh,
a lot of mountains, like a
yeah.
lot of mountains. But
Yeah.
apparently there's a lot of beautiful places to go hiking, I've heard.
Yeah, yeah, especially up here where I'm at. There's 2 or 3 big trails you can go up, and
Oh,
uh, at the end of the trail, there's this big old waterfall.
oh, pretty nice.
Yeah. So
Oh, so pretty. I gotta see that.
yeah, I'll send you a couple of pictures I took. I think it was last month. Some
Hmm.
deer were out. I'll send that to you so you can check it out.
Oh no, I hope they're careful. I don't want them to get hit by a car.
Oh no, they pretty much stay in the field area because where I'm at, it's kind of like a little valley in the back area, and it's all
Oh,
field, all field area. So they
all
pretty
right.
much.
You're in the valley as well?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm in the valley, but more in the foothills part of Northern California.
Okay. Okay, cool. Do you like living there?
Yeah, I pretty much lived here pretty much my whole life.
Oh
So
yeah.
I had I'd spent about 3 years in San Jose. I was working.
Okay.
Yeah, we're at a high school. I went down there for a while, and went to
Oh,
school
cool.
there. Yeah. So,
Oh.
but what kind of foods do you like? Is it Italian, Mexican, Chinese, or is it something else?
I like Chinese. I like almost everything except like if it has too much spices. Like I've never really had Indian food before, but the smell of it, I don't know if I would like it. It just seems really strong.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
But I'm almost open to almost everything except like if it's just way too much flavor, it's just gonna set me off. But I would say like my favorite food is like seafood.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm not a I'm not a
So
fan of seafood. No.
a lot of people are not a fan of seafood. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a casino in Reno. It's called the
hmm
called the Pepper Mill,
Oh
and
yeah.
they're known for their seafood buffet. And
Okay.
like as soon as you walk in, it was just like, no, I gotta go. I walked out and left. I couldn't deal with
Oh
it.
really?
Just
You can't. It's the smell. Yeah, I know
the,
what you mean.
the seafood
Yeah.
can't deal with that. So
Yeah, yeah. No, I get it. I get it. And honestly, it's rare to find someone that actually loves seafood.
mm.
Um, I've
what's
met very little who
what's
love
your
it like I do.
what's your favorite seafood that you like to eat?
Oh, I would have to say I love mussels. Oh my God, they're so good. Oysters, mussels, shrimp, like everything. Lobster, lobster is so good. Just like, squeeze some lemon on it, and it's like, because I love lemon. It's so good. Salmon, if it's cooked right, so good.
Yeah, we get a lot of salmon up here. We have a fish hatchery in my area
Yeah.
where
Yeah,
where the salmon go, and
yeah.
they do the reproduce and all of that. So there's a,
Yeah,
they get a lot
I've
of
actually.
oh,
Oh
go ahead.
no, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that they have a lot of giveaways for the salmon,
Oh
but
really?
yeah, but by
Okay.
then, they're at the salmon were technically at the end of their life, so it's really squishy meat.
Okay. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, it's like it's not you cook it, it's not going to be, you know, very good. But I hear though a lot of people around the area they smoke it
Oh,
with
smoked salmon.
yeah,
Yep.
they so I mean that's really the only thing you can really do with it at at
At
at
that
that
point.
stage of their
Yep.
life. Yeah, so
Yeah. Yep.
oh,
I
but
was actually at a nice seafood place down in Santa Monica.
okay.
Um and they had like such good mussels and like calamari, and it was so good. Not a fan of Santa Monica. I actually thought it'd be something different than what it was. um but yeah, they have a lot of seafood restaurants there for sure.
Do you want to give a shout out to the restaurant name?
I forget. I'm the worst. I have the worst memory every time I go somewhere and they're like, "So where did you go?" I'm like, "I forgot." I couldn't tell you. I can
Yeah,
describe what it looked like,
yeah,
but I completely forget the name. Yeah.
that's okay. That's okay. I'm the same way. I can remember stuff that happened 2 years ago, but I can barely remember what happened 2 days ago. So
Right. Right.
so
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah.
do you have any pets or anything?
I have a doggy back home in Canada. His name is Georgie.
Okay.
I got him when I was 16. I miss him so much, but I don't get to see him anymore as often because I'm down in the States.
Right.
So, but he's still my pet, but I do really want like a dog, another dog that I can have because I'm such a animal lover, dog lover. I love dogs. I'm not a huge fan of cats. They're really sneaky and they just like jump when they want to jump, and I don't know. I'm not like I love cats too because they're cute, but I would love to have a dog, but I do have a dog, but he's just in Canada, so
Right. What breed is he, or is he just like a mixture of everything?
he's a Yorkie and a Shih Tzu.
Oh, I bet he's a cute.
Oh, he's so cute. He's like a ball of fur. He's
Yeah.
just so cute, and he has such an attitude. He's just a great dog, and I want to get a Maltese. If I do get a dog, I want a Maltese because they're just so cute. I like fluffy dogs. I'm not like a fan of like Chihuahuas or, like
Right.
I like them with a lot of hair.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Now, if I could give you a fantasy scene
Okay. Yeah.
with or from the past, any like
hmm
genre or concept you wanted, who would you choose for that scene and why?
So if so a fantasy scene with a talent that I've worked with.
No, a talent that you never worked with from the past who's like retired.
Oh God, I wouldn't know. See, I don't watch porn, so I wouldn't know who was popular back in the day. I mean, I can tell you what my fantasy scene would be,
That'll work.
but
That'll work.
um, because I don't watch porn, I have no idea who was popular back then or who I would even, But my fantasy scene for me would
Yep.
probably be, um, I don't know if anyone has ever. I obviously people have seen my shoplifter scene, right? Because that whole scenario, it wasn't like a fantasy, but it's kind of something I've always wanted, where I get caught by like a police officer, and then they're like, well, if you want to get out of the situation, you know what you have to do. So that was kind of like a huge fantasy scene right there. And then I remember telling the director, I like looked at him, I'm like, this is like a fantasy scene for me because I'm about to get caught by the police, and
Right.
I was like, this is so exciting, you know. But I guess my other fantasy scene would be um definitely like a schoolgirl scene. I haven't really done that, like a schoolgirl and a teacher.
Right.
So like the teacher kind of starts to like come on to me, but I'm just like a schoolgirl, so like leave me alone. But like, you know what I mean, like that. I'm surprised I haven't done that yet. No, I would love to.
Okay. Okay.
or like my college professor, I
Yeah.
don't know. It's
Yeah. Oh,
like
yeah.
one of
Oh,
them.
definitely. Or the ones that I've seen that they're actually pretty good, or when they're like a real estate agent.
Oh, those ones, yeah. They're so
Yeah.
played out, I feel. I've seen those. I've seen them, yeah.
Yeah. I just like how I like where some of them just come up with some cheesy lines. And others, you could tell they studied for the part.
Right.
Well, I can get you, X amount of percentage, loan for this or this or this, and
Yeah.
they're going down the numbers and everything. So it's like, maybe they talk to a real estate agent or just really uh, invested in that scene because it's
Right.
okay. Hey, this person sounds like they know what they're talking about, and it made the scene more interesting than just
Yeah.
somebody just kind of, just kind of just going through whatever they were saying, to get to the scene. So.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's definitely, I can see how that's a fantasy for some people. I
Yeah.
think the fantasy thing is like, when you ask somebody what their fantasy is, I think that it usually is a scenario where they have a rush from doing something they're not supposed to be doing. Like, you're
Yeah.
you're not supposed to be fucking your real estate agent, or you're not supposed to be fucking your professor or like your teacher,
Right.
and it's just like the rush that kind of probably turns it into like a fantasy.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. My dirty little secret would have been me at a strip club and say Vanessa Del Rio and Luna Star were feature dancing,
Right.
and they take me in the back and do stuff to me that you wouldn't imagine, I guess.
Oh yeah, is that your dirty little secret?
So
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure you and a lot of other people have that same dirty little secret.
yeah, Luna Star is she's a performer now. She's still
Mhm.
performing, and Vanessa Del Rio, in my opinion, is probably one of, if not the greatest adult film stars ever. Uh,
Right.
she she started back in the late '70s,
Oh,
and,
wow.
and
Wow.
back then it was kind of on the fence where you can film or not film, and
Right.
it was like they would use code words where they're going to meet to do the scene. There were times where they were basically they're trying to hide from the FBI,
Oh
and
wow, really? It was illegal?
it was that kind of it was on the fence basically, and
Mm-hmm.
they get harassed by them. And Vanessa Del Rio, she has a shout out to Vanessa. She has a biopic out right now, and it basically
Yeah.
talks about her story and what they had to deal with in the 70s and late 80s or early
Wow.
80s on how they were doing with that. So
I didn't
yeah,
even know. I didn't even know there was porn in the 70s.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, I knew there was porn in the 80s, but I mean the 70s. I mean, I gotta look it up because that sounds really cool.
yeah. They back then they filmed it on 8 millimeters.
Those huge cameras.
Yep, and then they switched over to beta, which is like
Right,
the V8 the VCRs, but a little smaller, the smaller tape.
right,
And then
right.
then they went to the 80s, blockbuster type of VHS tapes.
Right.
So
Right. No, porn has evolved. It's evolved so much in so many ways. It's crazy. I
yeah,
think it's gotten better, but some people could disagree with me.
oh yeah. I mean, it in a way it's better because now you can create your own content
Right, right,
and you can keep all the funding, but yet
right.
back when in the 70s 80s the big names, you know I'm not going to say her name, but she was a friend of mine. Well, she still is a friend of mine, but I had a conversation with her and she did one scene, she was getting 70 to $100,000 a scene.
All right. Okay. Wow.
And this
Okay.
was before, obviously before they had the internet and everything. And
Right.
the big name stars, they got the big money back then. So
Oh my God, that's a lot of money.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, like I said, and now where they didn't have that option, you guys can, if they have enough fan base, they can create that, instantly with all their social media platforms.
Right. I've noticed a few people in the industry who have been around since like the 80s or the 90s.
Hmm.
And I've noticed that, not all of them, of course. And I really do respect people in companies that have been around for so long. And that's why I get excited every time I'm working with an older company. But I've noticed that the females in particular are very bitter when it comes to the new generation of girls and the new generation of porn and how it's run. Everyone's always like, "Oh, well, back then it was just so much better. You new people don't know what you're doing." But I think that you can't compare the generations because they're so different. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? We have such difference. It's just a complete different world. And I've noticed that a lot of the people, like females, not the males, it's the females who are just super bitter about porn now and how it's run and the porn stars now and blah blah blah. But I still love hearing about the older porn stars. I still love working with older companies. Doesn't really bug me, but I wish that they were more supportive and helpful to like the new younger girls coming in. You know what
right,
I mean?
right. Yeah,
I think that would be so cool if somebody who's made a name for themselves and is like really big in the industry still, and they've been around since like the 80s or the 90s, they decide to be supportive and help the new girls would be like so cool.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think with the stories that you were just mentioning, I think a lot of them are basically they're kind of a little resentful because back then, I mean, they had elaborate sets. I mean, they had enormous budget. They where
Right.
they had their own MUAs. They had their own buffets. Where they
Yeah.
could take a break and whatnot. And it just a lot of them maybe are just having trouble adjusting to the change of what's going
Well,
on.
if you just got to know that in life nothing's going to stay the same. You know, the
Yeah.
industry is going to change every decade or so. So you
Oh yeah.
can't keep holding on to the past and being like, oh, but it was so much better then. And it was like, you know, you guys don't know what the hell you guys are doing. It's like, you know, we're just different people now, and we're, you know, we grew up differently, and just, it's just a different, and it's going to change 10 years from now. You know what
Yep.
I mean? You just got to keep it moving. You got to go with the times, or just forget it, you know, because you can bitch and complain about how bad the industry is today, but it's not going to change anything. It's not going to change it. We're not going to go back to the 90s. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Just
Exactly.
saying.
Oh yeah, exactly. You know, and when you have someone like that, just just let it roll off your shoulder and okay, and just get your scene and
But yeah, no, yeah, but I've definitely experienced it. But you know, it just is what it is. The industry is an interesting place, interesting people.
yeah, yeah. And one thing I've noticed about the industry that they are a tight knit people, and
Yes,
I've met some of the best people through here on my show, you know, and,
right,
and people think, oh well, they're this or that. No, 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 no,
right,
no, no. I
right,
mean, I've had people on my show who could be engineers. I have
right,
I have one guest who was a nu they could be a nuclear physicist,
right,
you know,
right,
and but they love what they're doing and they're enjoying it. So, more
right.
power to them, it's you got a lot of great people in this industry.
I think it's important that if you are in this industry, you love what you do.
Yeah.
Because if you don't love it, it's gonna literally be so bad.
Yeah.
So you gotta actually really like that sex. Because
Yeah,
if you don't even think about it.
definitely. And a lot of them too, it's just like you're saying, you got to love what you do. And I
Yep,
think some of them get in it and they're just in it for the money, and
yeah,
after they become not being the fresh face anymore, they don't know what to do because they blew all through their first three scene money and they don't know what to do
right.
now. They're not getting booked, and so
Right.
they
And the
plan.
thing is with that though, is that if you're in it for the money isn't that great to be in it for the money. Let's just be honest. You could probably make a little bit more maybe somewhere else, or a little bit less somewhere else, you know what I mean? But I don't think, you know, you gotta wait out. If this isn't really what you want to do and you're doing it for the money, it's probably not, you know, for you. I think that if you want to do this, you should do it for the career, the long run, more
Right,
so than the money. My opinion. That's just my
right.
opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. All right, guys. Hey, I think we're gonna ready to wrap this up. Hey, I want to thank our guest for being on today, Miss April Love. Thank you for being
Thank
on.
you so much for having me. It was such a fun time.
All right, good. Hey, and guys, remember, her OF account and her IG is going to be up really, really soon. If it
Yeah.
not by the end of the day, she said. So you guys definitely want to check that out and support her there,
Yeah.
and get all her content. She's got 11 scenes out there, and
Yeah.
you want to see her with those new companies that she had mentioned earlier during the show.
Yeah.
Contact them. Get her on. Let's get her booked with these major companies,
Yeah, that'd
especially
be great.
especially with Evil Angel. Let's get
Yeah,
her on.
that'd be fun. That's like a scene that I've never done before, because most of my scenes are so super vanilla.
You're right.
And you know, I don't mind roughing it up just a little bit. You know, I think my fan base would like that as well, something different.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. And thank you, Dread Pirate, for tuning
Yeah,
into the show.
thank you, Dread Pirate. You're great.
All right, guys. Hey, I want to thank you for tuning in. And make sure you like, subscribe, share this with all your friends and stuff, and get some more people in here to subscribe to the show. It just pushes up our algorithm and all that good stuff for everybody. So, hey, guys, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. April, stay on the line.
Okay, got it.